Hi, I'm David Yossi Snellen, and this is Torah in 5. I've covered before that the purpose of this is for someone who doesn't know a lot of Torah to take an opportunity to learn Torah in 5 minutes or less. You can take that time to get closer to Hashem. And please remember that this is specifically designed for my brothers and sisters, fellow Jews. If you're not Jewish, feel free to listen. We're happy to have you. But we're not trying to offend anybody. We're not trying to come against anybody's faith. But this is specifically for Jews to get in touch with the love letter that Hashem has given us, a guide for life, Eitz Chaim Hi, a tree of life. So we're going to take a look. We've covered Beresh't in the past. So this is Beresh't take 2, so to speak, where we cover a few things we didn't cover in the beginning. So as I mentioned before, this deals with chapter 1 of Genesis, Bereshit, and it goes through chapter 6, verse 8. Now, as we deal with Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve, one of the things that I want you all to realize is they had one mitzvah, just one. Now, a mitzvah, contrary to what a lot of people will say, doesn't mean good deed. It means command. So understand that when Hashem said, don't eat of this tree, what's the purpose of it? Why would God even put this tree in the middle of paradise and give them an opportunity to screw up? Why would this happen? The purpose, I believe, is to see that you're not God. You're living in paradise. You've been created to be immortal. You have all of this stuff that's right at your fingertips, but you're not God. And that's something that we need to be aware of. In the society that we're living in today, people try to make themselves God. Every person on this earth is a child of God, but you're not God. And we all have to listen to what he has to say, because all of the mitzvot, while you may not understand them, and sometimes they may seem to be a burden, they're really created for our benefit. And we're actually going to do a video on why God gave some of these mitzvot and how scientifically they really come out to our benefit. But one of the things that I really want to cover is when we deal with Cain and Abel, Cain and Abel. And we see that Cain brings this offering that is an offering of grain, and Abel brings an offering from the best of his flocks. Now, the Torah doesn't tell us that Cain brought the best, but it does say that Abel brought the best. And God gives Cain an opportunity to turn around, to do tshuva. And he says, hey, if you do right, won't your sacrifice be accepted? But Cain gets upset with his brother. He gets jealous. And we know that he ends up killing him. But before that happens, this is so key. God says, sin is crouching at your door. He says this to Cain. Sin is crouching at your door, but you can rule over it. That's the key. There is no sin nature that's been imparted from Adam to all of us. We each make the choice to live holy or to sin. So when that Cain doesn't listen to Hashem, he made the choice himself. Didn't have anything to do with his daddy. It all comes down to the choice he made, and God gave him fair warning. Unfortunately, especially for Abel, Cain doesn't listen. He doesn't make that opportunity to turn, to do tshuva, a complete turning around, to do a 180. The next time that you're faced with a sin, a temptation, it's obviously not going to be easy to say no, otherwise it wouldn't be a temptation. If you offer me coffee, that's no temptation at all. It makes me sick. But if you present a good sweet tea, that's a temptation. Not a bad one, I'll admit. But the point is, when you're faced with something that's a temptation, you have the ability in you, and God clearly says this in the Torah, you have the ability to turn away from it, to whip it. You don't have to follow and do the wrong thing. You can beat it. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but you can. And that's the truth of the Torah. Well, we'll talk in the next time about the next Parshiot. Bye-bye now.